Coucou les coucous! De retour à Morrowind avec Sefina. Le crest de Hellset, ça. Whatever. Alright. Début de l'épisode, on va commencer avec beaucoup de blabla. Official matters. Non, je veux... I don't know much about it. I know there's a rebellious school called the Dissident Priests, who the temple have cast out and persecuted as heretics. Ça a le rapport avec la main quest. Qui a pas rapport avec vous autres. I also know there are temple members who disagree with some of the action and policies of the temple, but who keep silent and work for change from within. Right? If handled skillfully, a discontented member could be a useful informant on temple's affair. The goddess over in the temple. She's surrounded by her hands, though tough fighters from what I hear. Official matter, j'ai déjà parlé. Dark Brotherhood. Yeah. Ça a l'air que j'ai manqué ma chance de parler de... Je l'ai fait rapidement. I gave a copy, ouais. Qu'est-ce que les autres disent? Bye. There is discontent everywhere. Why shouldn't there be? He's our captain of the guard. You'll find him in the... We are in the throne room. Just double checker. Alright, tant pis.
The king's health to you, sir.
Je veux pas... Je veux pas sa santé. Il peut bien la garder, sa santé, s'il veut. Alright, je veux le temple en haut ici. Ouais.
Yes?
Blessing of Amalexia. Our wealth dies with us, my child, but our good deeds outlive us all. Would you care to make a donation to the temple and receive the blessing of Lady Mercy? Amalexia watches over all her children, the sick, the needy, the poor. Well, not actually in person. She used to in person, you know, but she's made no public appearance for years, so the temple takes care of her children for her. That's what the money goes for, child. You know about them, Lizzie, the living gods of our temple. God, but at the same time, living folks like you and me. Amalexia, the Lady of Mercy, walked the streets of Mournhole herself, healed the sick, fed the poor, gave them clothes from her own hands. The same with Lord Vivek. Then, 10 years ago, about the time of the ghost fence, they stopped appearing in public. Needed all MCB power for the ghost fence, they said. High priest still talk with them, but we don't see them. Okay. Living gods, Vivek has always been among us. Our father and forefather to many generations, living and speaking gods and ancestors. Guardian and hero, Sutasil, he's the father of mysteries, and always kept to himself, but long ago, even he used to appear now and then. That's the difference between the temple and the Western faiths. We have God who were once mortals. They understand what it is like to live, eat, sleep, suffer, worry, and to fear death. Lady of Mercy is the mother of us all, healer and protector, always has been. She doesn't seem that way now. In the war with Dagoth, it's hard for all of us. She has to change, to toughen herself and her followers. It's true that sometimes dissenters disappear when they question her doctrines. The hands of Amalexia are more like Inquisitor than Knights of Loving Mercy. And Mournhole doesn't feel much like the City of Love anymore, but hard times demand hard gods. They are Amalexia personal guards, body and soul, scimitar and armor, fortified by divine enchantment, pledged to honor and protect and serve Amalexia in all ways. They used to spend much of their time punishing criminals and protecting the people. Now they spend all their time protecting Amalexia. Suppose that's right, but it makes me uneasy. Sends the wrong signal. Vengeful might rather than vigilant mercy.
Have you heard the rumors about Hellset?
Hellset. Granny Varius. These are difficult times with much suffering. There are enemies all around, yet there is discontent. But our faith in Alexia, mother of all ills, and sustain us. Oh guard. I've heard they're generate dangerous men, and I'm going to stay clear of them. With the High Ordinator. Heals and sustain us. Discontent, like execution that they. King Helsla. They say the diet of all mage, maybe so, Dunmer live a long time, but they also know. They say diet of all mage, maybe so. Dunmer lives a long time, but they also know how to keep their mouth shut. Amateurs. Inestilitan. The Imperial is probably at the palace with the rest of them. Ah, you're the one who recently arrived in Mornhole from Vardenfell. I was told of your arrival. I understand you had some problem with the Dark Brotherhood. An interesting group, and usually rather effective. I'm surprised you're still alive. Perhaps you have potential, or they sent incompetence. I believe you might be of service to Our Lady. Alright, service for Our Lady. I am always aware of those who might be able to save Our Lady Almalexia. Few are worthy to do so. The temple and the city is guarded by the High Ordinator, and the Hands fulfill other duties for the Lady. I am her chief steward, Phyllis Fleur. Now, if you wish to be of use, we have some matters to discuss. Guess that's the Ordinator. Perhaps you've seen Ordinator on Vardenfell. Fierce warrior, all. They were the men judged unfit to serve in Our Lady's city. The High Ordinators are the strongest warriors in all of Morrowind. They protect the temple and the city against all threat. Do not cross them. Your hands, they are the servant of Our Lady Almalexia. When something must be done in her name, the hands are her instruments. They are the strongest, most pious, and most loyal of all the lady's followers. Discontent? Who can doubt that Helset is responsible for Athen Letland death? Though out of fear, few will speak openly. I think you'll find most Dunmer and Mornhole are convinced that Latland was killed to make way for Helset. Of course, I doubt that it could be proven. Helset is too clever for that, but no one can doubt the truth of the matter. Our new young king, he is ruthless and not foolish, as some would have you believe. He has some of his mother's political savvy, and he has all of his father's ruthlessness. Laraine? That one has ears everywhere. The people love her, always have, and she seemingly stayed out of politics since her return to Mornhole. Make no mistake though, she knows the score and discount. A savvy old woman, to be sure. The Lord Arcanon is most likely in his office here at the temple. Go there if you wish to speak to him. Latest rumor, I thought Widow Thandas was going to have an estate sale to sell off some of that loot her late husband collected. She said she was going to sell off some things a while back, but I keep asking about it and she says she's still got a lot to do. Widow Thandas, alright? Alright, if you're looking for access to the place of power, start with Theantis Deliten, King Helset, captain of the Royal Guard. Been there. He's fair and professional, and King Helset is no simple figure, unlike his predecessor. There's real power here, and Helset is just going to get more powerful as he learns how Mornhole work. Captain of Guard, he's a shrewd one, worthy of respect. My trade. I'm an assassin. Oh, okay. Matters to discuss. Okay. Perhaps you have already met King Hollow Helset, no? A foul man unworthy to sit on the throne. Oof. Still, he holds rights of succession. The lady must keep an ever watchful eye on this king, though. lest he do something that would be detrimental to the temple, our fair city, or perhaps all of Morrowind. Currently, they are concerned about some new recruits that Helset seems to be training. A standing army is nothing new in the city, though it is largely unnecessary. Mournhold is protected by a wall from the outside and by Our Lady Almalexia from within. None would dare mount an attack here. Still, tradition dictates that the king maintains an army. We believe that Helset is raising quite a different sort of army. A goblin army. Foul, vicious creatures. No wonder Helset has chosen them to be his foot soldiers. I know that the goblins are being trained nearby, though not where exactly. Ask around the city about goblins. Someone will know. I wish for you to find the location of the goblin training area. When you do, kill the war chief. There should be 2. Sever the head of this army and the rest will shatter like a scrib. You might rid the city of their 2 Altmer trainer as well. Complete this task and the lady will be pleased. Goblin, miserable, horrid creatures. They're violent, vicious. They vary in size from smaller than a bosmer to larger than a Menord. Some are mindless animal, others have learned the ways of magics. You'll often see them with trained Durzog, another filthy creature. Altmer Trainer. Traditionally, the Altmer, the High Elf, have used goblin to reinforce their armies. Why, I do not know. Rumor has it that Helset has contracted 2 Altmer to train his goblin army. If you find these Altmer, it would be of service to rid the city of them as well. The Durzog. Frightening creatures, probably even more intelligent than their goblin handlers. You might hear them referred as sludge puppies, but don't let that name fool you. They're strong, smart, and often well-trained creatures. The goblin use them on patrol to hunt down their victims. None may enter the High Chapel unless summoned by the goddess Almalexia. These are difficult times, everyone says so, but we are told count only the happy hours. I am a faithful follower of the Tribunal, and I believe in the 7 grace and the 7 virtues. Yet, no, you must excuse me, you are a stranger, and one does not share one's doubts with strangers. Goblin and Moral? I heard some odd stories of creatures in the sewer beneath God's reach, but I never thought they might be goblin. Terrible creatures. May his spirits rest among his ancestors, but he was a king in name only. The Dunmer do not and never have submitted to kings like the Westerners, regardless of what the empires say. I understand that they are King Helset's personal bodyguards. Sweet pulp et des ingrédients que je connais pas. There, are we friends now? I am a faithful believer, but Almalexia makes me uneasy. For the last 50 years, the Tribunal stopped walking among us, stopped listening and speaking with us. This worried me and made me sad. Were our gods abandoning us? Were they growing weak? But since Almalexia has lately come among us again, I feel more worry, not less. Her face glows brightly with hope and power, but her words seem dark and bitter. Almalexia homilies are full of compassion, understanding, wisdom, and acceptance. But now her sermon seems more intent on destroying the wicked, punishing the foolish, and rewarding the faithful. The unquestioning, obedient faithful. Yet these are difficult times, and in difficult times to survive we must be hard. I tremble for the failing of my faith, but the gods I once loved now frightens me. Yes, you may come again another time. It is hard to talk of such thing. I feel guilty and disloyal, but in my heart I know something is not right. It helps little to be able to speak with you. Helset has murdered King... Okay. Has murdered King Latan and stolen his crown. It does not matter that the King Helsen was a fool. He was our fool. So long as the puppet king was a joke, we all could all laugh and ignore him. Helset is not a fool, and no one is laughing. If Helset seeks in earnest to be king, then Almaxa and the temple are sworn in earnest to destroy him. I heard some of the high priests of the temple are going to be relocated. I haven't heard who or where or why. It seemed to be a result of some serious disagreement about the temple doctrine between Almarula and some outspoken critics.
Walk in the light.
Saint Veloth, Tribunal.
Health and healing are my specialties.
High Ordinator, the bravest and holiest of all of horrors in all of Morrowind. They keep the peace near Mournhold, and I'm glad for it. Goblins in Mournhold. Okay, nouveau. Okay. On passera pas plus de temps ici. J'ai probablement pas rapport. C'est toi qui as dégainé. That was some weird falling animation, my friend. Ça devrait ramener en avant. Lord Arcanon. High Chapel, je peux pas aller là, ça va juste looper back in. Un High Ordinator. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? Wrong run. Amalexia. The most blessed lady Amalexia guides and protects us all. We bask in her glory and we are glad. Varanzaya. I've not had the pleasure of her company myself. Perhaps I'm one of the few. I'll say this. She is much loved by the people of the city. They should remember who truly deserve their love and admiration. All praise to Our Lady of Mercy. I don't know anything about who might have sent those people after you. If you're looking for help, try talking to Tianis Dilitan at the Royal Palace. If you're more of a religious sort, try speaking with Fedresler at the temple. Either of them might be able to help you. The soldier? I have little use for him. He is concerned only with the physical. How sharp is his blade, how polished his breastplate. True strengths come from within the vital mercy of Our Lady. He is Lady Almalexia Stewards. You may find him in the office in the temple reception. Cavastron, c'est toi. I am, c'est bon. Ghost Fence, sûrement. It's completely effective, but now we have a report of encounter with blighted monsters outside of the fence. Goblins. Et nouveau, the hands of Almalexia. Alright, nouveau, Helset. He is recently replacing his recently deceased great uncle Eflin Latland. This child king is a fool, raised by the Imperial, educated by Altmer. He's nothing of the Dunmer people. Have you seen his ears? He had them cropped to look more Imperial. He is a fool and a dangerous one. Imperial cult. The 9 divines are neither gods nor worthy ancestors, and their worship is just foolish superstition. They say he died of old age. Okay. Haven't been any show at the robot arena lately. Has Ignatius Flassus been having problem with his Dwemer Centurion again? It's un assassin? A priest of the Tribunal Temple, of course. Necromancy. Other cult. Royal Guard. Young King Helset handpicked thugs. Ridiculous that they are allowed to dispense justice in the Lady City. The High Ordinator do a fine job of keeping the peace around here. Each of the Greater Saint and Lesser Saint has his own proper sphere of influence. Those worship of various walks of life that the Saint has the most sympathy and affection for. The Greater Saints of the Temple, listed with their proper sphere, are Blessed Almalexia, the Warden, Healer, Teacher. Lord Sotosil, the Magus, Artificer, Wizard. Lord Vivek, the Poet, Artist, Rogue. Saint Nerevar, the Captain, Warrior, Statement, and Saint Velet, the Pilgrim, Outcast, Seekers. The Lesser Saint of the Temples are Saint Felm, the Bold, Butcher, Fishmonger, Saint Lothus, the Pious, the Tailors and Dyers, Saint Maris, the Peacekeeper, Farmers and Laborer, Saint Warus, the Martyr, Furnisher and Carabiner, Saint Aralor, the Penitent, for Tanner and Miners, Saint Dellen, the Wise, for Potter and Glassmakers, Saint Olms, the Just, for Sailor, Chandlers and Clerk, Saint Realms, the Barefooted, for Pilgrims, Beggars, and Saint Seren, the Merciful, Brewer, Bakers, and Distiller. Ooh, je peux... Service to Our Lady. Oh yes, beneath its temple there's a large sewer system built around the ruins of Old Mornar. Il y a beaucoup de blabla. You smell like you may have spent some time there. Regardless, in these rooms there lies a shrine. The shrine has been corrupted. On revient la prochaine fois avec ça. Je vais probablement avoir lu toutes les saintes aussi de mon côté. Anyway, au revoir et à bientôt.